Alright guys, hey and welcome to Remember11 again. Welcome back. I had a good sleep. I dreamt about not dying in Remember11, and a lot of shit happened. I have to admit, this game has impacted me a lot. Just with feels, and I'm sure it's going to continue. Because my friend said there's 33 endings. And I think I've only faced 3 of them so far, maybe 4. One of them, I think the earliest point you can actually die is if you don't take the pills during the blackout night in Satoru's area, and thus he turns around, or Cocoro is him, and so when Satoru goes in, he realizes he's been stabbed. Cocoro then goes back, which by the way, I think that the two are connected. But if Satoru were to die and Cocoro wasn't in his body, I think they switch. So Cocoro would then end up dying in his body no matter what. I don't know why, but it just feels like that's a thing, because when he dies in the bathtub, Cocoro gets sent back over there, even though she was technically only just in his body a few seconds before. And yet, all she's going back to do is to die. And then another point later on, which is the second point you can actually die, that I think, there could be others, but this is the second point in the deaths that I've got. It's when you get locked outside of the building, and you walk so far that you end up just falling onto the ground, onto the snow, and you get sent back to the cabin, and then you get sent back to Satoru like 5 seconds later, and you just die from the cold. And I'm like, wait, but why? She was just in his body. And I think it's because if Satoru dies and Cocoro's not in his body, they switch. That's what I think happens. Or maybe Satoru has power over it. Like, maybe Satoru realizes he's dying and he switches. Maybe he has the power to switch. That could be another possibility. Or it could just be that whoever's making them switch thinks Satoru should survive more than Cocoro. I don't know. One of those 3 possibilities. The other point you can die is in that same day when you get locked out, and if you decide to go against the wall of the building instead of walking away from it, and you go inside one of the rooms, you end up dying. And that same death can happen even if you go away from the building, and if you go to the Sami's room. And then the next death... when was the next one? I think the next one would have to be a mix. When you go to check, well actually no, when you go check for the helicopter, like when you first go back to the cabin area, and everyone's outside looking for a helicopter, you can choose to stay behind, because if you go with them, then Yomogi gets hurt. So if you choose to stay behind, and then you choose to go with them, and then you leave Uni behind, Yomogi, Maizuru, and you are together, and then you end up just falling on the ground dying, which is one of the sad endings. I hated that one. That was just sad. And then the next one, obviously, is the avalanche, which happens. I'm not sure if I've missed any. That's about 5 to 6 endings. I think I've missed some, but I don't really know. But yeah, that means there's like at least 20 endings still. Like, holy shit, how much time can Satoru die? I can't wait to find out. So otherwise, we're going to be starting a new game as Satoru. Whoa, whoa. Okay, so we're repeating the starting area. Okay. Okay, this makes sense. So we're starting the starting area normally, which means I've got it automatically set on skip, so we can skip areas we've already been through. So I'm just gonna pick... By the way, this still has 97%, which is rather annoying. By the way, I just realized that it came up with a picture of a watch. Is that watch important in some way? I want to go back to that. And I want to check out that watch. death. No, I don't recognize it. I thought it would look like the GPS thing that Yomogi had, but no, it isn't. And here comes the plane crash. And there we go, plane crash. Now to find out what happened to Satoru. So keep in mind that Satoru woke up in Kuroko's body first, and that's why everyone thought he was named Yukidoh. She was called Yukidoh, man. So he fell off the back. I feel like they would have had a better time making him fall onto the building itself. I can't skip this, by the way, just so you know. The Age of Infinity. Alrighty. Now we get to start Satoru. Wait, what? What did you skip to begin with? Oh, I didn't skip anything. Okay, so I'm just gonna give Satoru my normal voice, like in a little bit of a, I don't know, maybe a deeper tone. A dense ocean current coiled over me as if to lap over my whole body. I felt as if I was being embraced by a sea teeming with coercitive. What's that? Coercitive, righto. A small spherical droplet of hydrophilic colloids suspended in a liquid which forms when solutions of colloids are mixed under suitable conditions to achieve and maintain a stable state. There's a theory that suggests they were the origins of life on Earth, as they have properties that resemble living matter and may have been the pre-biological systems from which living organisms, stuff like that. Okay. The vicious colloidal ocean water was burning hot. I couldn't breathe. I writhed agonized in the scorching hot liquid. Is this a dream? That question crossed my mind out of nowhere. If this was reality, then I might have trapped 4 billion years back in time and awoken in the primordial sea. Extending a sensory organ. I like how it was just like, yeah, I got sent back in time, normal shit. Extending a sensory organ, which was neither an arm nor a feeler, I tried to search my body. The thing I called my body was nowhere to be found, only a soft, flabby aggregation of amino acids surrounded me. I began to melt into the boiling water as the water also melted into me. I can no longer tell where my own existence begins or ends. I felt as if this whole vast sea were myself, and that there were no singularity entity in existence here. But I am here. Whether or not I have substance, there is no doubt that I exist here. I perceive colors with a sense which is not sight. I listen to sounds with a sense which is not hearing. I smell odors with a sense which is not smell. My surroundings were completely saturated by a dazzling red light, a rhythmic sound, and a sweet scent that felt as if it would dissolve. I could both perceive and consider them, yet the origin of my thoughts didn't appear in my brain. So, where were those thoughts coming from? Perhaps the great sea surrounding me is controlling my thought process. Or could it be that perhaps this very thought is false? If that's the case, then I'm not thinking, not feeling anything. Do I not exist? Upon thinking this, I was suddenly assailed by an unbearable anxiety. I'm not here. I am not here. Terror swirled around me, within me, gradually converging on one point before exploding. I struggled, continued to struggle, as though I would go mad, seeking an exit, seeking light, seeking substance. I wanted to escape from this world as quickly as possible. Help me. Get me out of here. I'm here. Persona. Ugh. What happened? Hey, settle down. Ugh. Calm down, just calm down. Jeez, can't you just tell what the hell is wrong with you? That's right, everything's fine now, so no need to worry, okay? Where? When I came to, I was in an unfamiliar place. I was sitting on a wooden floor with my back pressed against the wall. No, it would be more appropriate to say that I was being pressed. The one holding me in place was a giant of a man, startlingly large and rugged as a rock. I craned my body upward to look at his face. Despite his firm grip on his shoulders, his face wore a troubled expression. I remembered that face from somewhere. It's faint, but his face was etched like an afterimage into a corner of a mirror. Who are you? I feel like I've seen you somewhere before. As I asked that, the man caught his breath and stared at me. As I thought, we've met somewhere before, right? Or am I mistaking you for someone else? Hey, can you hear me, old man? The man blinked repeatedly, as if finally coming to his senses. Are you alright? Huh? Have your spasms settled down? Spasms? You were having a violent fit. I was pretty worried, I thought you'd lost it. The man slowly let go of my shoulders. Well, yeah, I've been through quite an ordeal. I'm sure you've been having some pretty scary dreams, but... Dreams, the nightmare is red as flesh blood. Even just thinking about it made me shudder. I see, so I was struggling because of the nightmare. Really, just like a little kid. Sneering in self-derision, I replied by shaking my head a little. Well, I suppose the dream doesn't matter. More importantly, my top priority was to find out where I was and what was happening. Pushing aside the mountain of a man who was blocking me, I tried having a look around. A room enfolded in rough-hewn wood, a small window, a crude stove, a plain table. Before the table stood the figure of a woman. The woman who wore her hair in an updo. She was shivering as she sat on a wooden chair. Lynn! The word came to my lips instantly. Couldn't help but cry out her name, because I knew her. Could never forget her. The memories were made together, were burned as clearly into my mind as that I couldn't forget them even if I tried. Lynn and I had gone out for 2 whole years. Lynn! Lynn! What happened? Why are you here? Raising my voice, I rushed over to her. Lynn's eyes opened wide and her eyebrows arched. Was it this sudden tension that made her face different like that? For the two of us to suddenly meet again after a year and a half apart, and in a place like this. We hadn't spoken to one another since we'd broken up. We hadn't caught a single glimpse of the other, heard each other's voice, or paid any mind to any rumors about one another. I'd say feeling bewildered by our first reunion in a long time was natural, So I stood stock still in front of her, not knowing what to say. Lynn and I stared at each other silently. The atmosphere growing between us grew awkward and tense. Well, unlike last time where I just went through the whole game and then went back afterwards to do the choices, I will be trying to do the choices immediately. So I don't really care which one I choose here since they don't really seem important, so I'll be doing both of them anyway. Why are you here? Lynn, why are you here? I repeated the question. Couldn't find a way to say it any better than that. But now that I think about it carefully, what I said just now wasn't accurate at all. Why is she here? I shouldn't go asking a question like that when I don't even know why I'm here myself. Are you looking for a fight or something? Abrupt, Lynn began to speak. Didn't you address me in that buddy-buddy tone? She leveled a menacing glare at me. And my name? How do you know my name? You weren't eavesdropping or something, were you? Were you actually awake when I told you this guy my name just now? You were just pretending to be unconscious until now. So how'd you know? Tell me. Even if she ordered me to answer, I couldn't. The words she said may as well...
Remember11 window.
What the hell? Remember11 window. I didn't press anything, though. What? I am so confused right now. What the
Down,
fuck?
up arrow.
What the hell? What is that?
Shift.
Shut up.
File. Leaf node. Menu item. Menu key Alt plus F. Alt. 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 Down arrow. Escape. Escape.
I don't understand what's going on. What the hell is that? What?
Delete. Page down.
I don't understand what that is.
Backslash. Enter. Enter.
What the?
Program manager. Pane. Exiting narrator.
Thank you. That was so weird. I don't know what the hell that was. So how'd you know? Tell me. Even if she ordered me to answer, I couldn't. The words she said may as well have been in some unknown language, for all I understood them. Hey, what's wrong, Lynn? You couldn't have forgotten me. Forget? Because I don't even know you to begin with. Don't know? What do you mean you don't know? I mean exactly what I said. I'm saying that I've never so much as laid my eyes on you before. That's... Hearing those utterly unexpected words left me completely astounded. You really did forget about me. Hey, what would you do if I suddenly disappeared from this world? I'd search the world for where you were. Then what if you couldn't find the world? Well, I'd probably keep on searching until I found it. Huh, you liar. Isn't a person's heart something that changes easily? No flame keeps burning forever. Then what about you? If I suddenly disappeared from this world, what would you do? Let's see. I would have a hot shower, drink some strong sake, then go to sleep for months and months like a black bear. And once 6 months had passed, I'd forget all about you. I see. Are you unhappy with that? No, not at all. Really? Well, what I said just now were my true feeling. Well, what I said just now were my true feelings. That's why I want to stay with you. Every day, 24/7, without sleeping for even a second. If I could, I want to look at you forever. Because I got the feeling that if I ever looked away from you for even a moment, I would end up forgetting about you right away. Things like kissing you, sleeping with you, yeah. And I want to lose you. I want to engrave the proof that you exist into every part of my body. Hey, just once more? Can you engrave it? Can I engrave you into me? What? Lynn. I stood still and silent in front of her. Gently smoothing back her straight hair, she walked away from me without even a word. Once 6 months had passed, I'd forget all about you. Several years ago, she said those words to me. And now they'd become a reality. A gaping hole opened within my heart. A feeling of loss stole the energy from my body. What's this? You two don't know each other. Folding his arms, the man looked from me to Lynn and back again. No, we don't. I just said that, didn't I? No, don't get so angry. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding, it's not common. Lynn turned away and went to sit down in the bottom bunk. Then misunderstanding... Oh, this is Yin. Misunderstanding, there's no misunderstanding. Suddenly I heard a voice. This person. Just forgot. turned in the direction of the voice. On the top bunk was a boy perched with both hands on the edge of the bed, looking down at us. A face I'd seen before. No, more than just a face that I'd seen, it was a face I should have been very familiar with. However, I couldn't remember anything beyond that. Where we met, when I saw him, whether or not he knows me too. I don't remember a thing. Nonetheless, the feeling that I know this boy was spread somewhere deep within the chest. Hold on just a minute, I can't ignore that. Did you say I just forgot? Lynn got up suddenly and walked over to stand right next to the boy. As I've already said over and over again, I haven't forgotten a thing. You're wrong. Wrong? What am I wrong about? I wasn't talking about you, Lynn. Then if it wasn't me, who? The boy gritted his teeth, frowning. Still looking down, he slowly raised his left hand. It's you. With hostility in those words, he pointed his slender fingers at me. Me? Why? I hadn't forgotten a thing. Lynn's the only one who's lost her memory. Really, I give up. How the hell are you all retarded? What are you talking about? Not the slightest clue. Neither do I. Something's wrong here. I had the feeling that I've been swallowed up into a ridiculous, intricate plot. I have no basis for this. And yet a vague premonition, a growing sense of unease swelled inside my chest. Look, is anyone here who can explain what's going on? Leaving things as they are, with everyone in a bad mood, won't make for a good night's sleep, eh? No one responded. Lynn astonishedly averted her eyes before having a great sigh. The boy. Without saying anything, he jumped down and walked past me, heading for the doorway. Hey, where are you going, Uni? We aren't done talking yet. Uni, a name I heard before. The name and face of the boy were etched deep into my consciousness. It seems I really do know him. But I'm still not sure how I know him. I'm not going anywhere. I couldn't even if I wanted to. Uni stopped in the corner of the room, turning away as he spoke. There was a rectangular hole at his feet. Fixed to the side of the hole was a wooden ladder leading downward. I'm just going down to get some firewood. It'll get a lot colder when night falls. Wait a sec. What? Whoops. What's the button for it again? There it is. Wait a sec. Lynn stopped Uni as he placed a hand on the ladder. Will you take that coat off already? It's mine, you know. Give it back. No. I found it, so it's mine. What kind of bullshit reason is that? Do you know how the first paragraph of the Lost Property Act goes? Upon finding a lost article belonging to another person, the finder should, with all due haste, return the article to the person who lost it. Or turn it over to either its lawful owner or other possessor, with legal right to calm this article. It should otherwise be returned to the nearest police station. Well, there's nothing in that law that demands that prohibited materials be returned to the owner. Huh? What the hell are you talking about? How is that coat prohibited? Huh? Sorry to interrupt you in the middle of this, but can I ask you about something that's been bothering me? Uni, where did you find that coat? That's, in the wreckage of the plane. Strange, isn't it? You were thrown out of the plane, and from the impact of the crash, I woke in the snow. Sheesh, just shut up already! I got it! Take it off, I'll take it off! After interrupting the man in mid-argument, Uni resignedly removed the coat that was hanging off him. Look, I'm giving it back! Rolling out the coat, he tossed it toward Lynn. Could you handle it a bit more gently, please? Cashmere coats don't come cheap. As Lynn muttered a complaint, she gently patted off her reclaimed coat. I just kept silent as I watched their exchange from the sidelines. Not that there had been any room for me to cut in, even if I wanted to. Plane, wreckage, impact? What were they talking about? My confusion only deepened. Animus. Uni swiftly climbed down the ladder and disappeared. I looked down through the rectangular hole in the ground. There appeared to be some kind of storeroom down there. Hey, you. Having been addressed, I turned around. Would you tell me your name? It's kind of convenient not knowing each other's names. The man sat down on one of the wooden chairs. My name's Yumogi. One of the wooden chairs smoking a cigarette. Yumogi Seiji. Yumogi Seiji. Again, a strange feeling came over me. Just like when Uni, I'd heard the guy's name before. Yumogi Seiji, age 35, a mountaineer by trade. If I'm not mistaken, he should have a wife and kids. Kids? What? Oh, that does make me wonder. In the opening scene, the music, it did say something about the twins of an axis. And I'm starting to wonder, is Junichi and Uni twins? I don't know. Why are all these clear memories of him suddenly coming to mind? I've never seen this man before. And yet why? What's the matter? Is something bothering you? Yumuragi inclined his head, a puzzled look on his face. Perhaps he's read my expression. I replied, no, it's nothing. Oh, wait. I just realized this. I need to go back to the other one. So I need to go choose the other option, just so I can get the full thing. Lynn, it's been a while. What have you been up to since then? We could at least gotten in touch. Look, didn't we promise? That even if we were apart, we'd still be friends. And yet you... Stop right there. Yeah, okay, here we go. Go back to the option. Go away. Yin seems very angry with Satoru. It's so annoying. No, it's nothing important. No, it's not important. Don't worry about it. With that said, I moved away from him. So, your name? Again, I heard his voice behind me. I answered as I walked aimlessly around the cramped room. Yukidoh Satoru. Yukidoh Satoru? I can't do both girl and boy voice at the same time. Yukidoh Satoru, what? Yumuragi and Lin raised their voices so near perfectly in unison that it seemed as though they'd planned it beforehand. Yumuragi looked at me very critically as though observing some strange life form. And Lin marched straight up to me with her mouth set in hard line. Maybe, just maybe, Lin would remember me at last. Lin. So after calling up by my name, I moved towards her. Slap. We stood in front of the stove facing each other. A strange sense of unease overcame me. I soon realized that its source was in the way she looked at me. I was looking up at Lin. Lin was staring down at me. In truth, the difference in angles wasn't that great. But the fact that there were barely any difference between our heights to begin with, to me it was shocking. I tried to analyze the inexplicable phenomenon. I looked down. I thought I should check and make sure my own feet. But then at just that moment... At first I couldn't quite understand just what it was that happened to me. My vision swam. The strength of my legs left me and I fell to my knees. Right after that I was attacked with a violent pain. The pain spread in my burning waves, across my face and down my neck until my whole head was throbbing. Was I hit just now? If so, then I haven't a clue by whom and with what though. And why there would be any reason for someone to hit me? I was only sure of one thing. Right there before my eyes, the person who hit me, Maizumi Lin. My blurry vision finally came back into focus. From where I knelt on the ground, I looked up and up at Lin as she towered over me. She glared imposingly down at me, her face flushed. Don't you dare play games with me! Her voice was quivering with anger. There almost seemed to be a strange aura emanating from her, causing the air behind her to store like heat haze. What exactly are you plotting? Why? Why Yukidoh Satoru? I got to my feet, wiping a hand across my mouth. Something red was smeared across the base of my thumb. You haven't changed one bit. Huh? You still have that bad habit of getting physical whenever you lose your temper, and a tendency to fly into a rage when there's something you don't understand. You wanna die? Moreover, are you planning on pretending to be Satoru now? Pretending? If you're not pretending, then what the hell is this? Talking to me casually, calling me by my first name? Isn't everything up until now just an act you're putting on to trick me? Well, even with that said, this is hardly worth of being called acting. It's around the same level of artistry as a dog and a pony show, or a kid's game or make-believe, and a worthless, ridiculous farce. Lin, what's going on? Seriously. I'm Satoru. I'm not pretending or putting on an act. I'm the real, genuine Yukidoh Satoru. Huh, even after all that, you still planning to keep it all up? Unbelievable. Just what is all this? What do you want from me? Are you trying to make fun of me? Or is that meant to be some kind of con? Well, you do whatever you want. It's no use trying to trick me. It's not like you really have done a bit of investigating into my past with Satoru, but it's not going to do you any good. Too bad for you. Next time you try and trick someone, pick your target a little better. Confused and bewildered, I was left speechless.
There was a fatal discrepancy somewhere in my exchange with Lin just now. Like a pair of gears that didn't line up properly, clattering along to no productive avail. I am me, Yukidoh Satoru. There can be no mistake about it. And yet Lin isn't recognizing me as who I am, as Yukidoh Satoru. I had a terrible feeling that my entire existence was being denied. More importantly, it's freezing in here. This piece of crap barely deserves to be called a stove. Kinda heat up the place better. Hey, Yomogi! Can't you do something about it? Lin sat down in front of the stove, arms crossed against the cold. Yomogi stood where he was there, frozen there, cigarette in mouth. The flame had already reached the filter and burned itself out. Hey, can't you hear me? Told you to do something. Lin shouted at him over his shoulder. The spent cigarette dropped from Yomogi's lips and onto the floor. Yeah, I got it. He gathered several blankets from the beds and draped them over Lin's shoulders. Lin pulled them tight around her. Coffee. Telling him to make some coffee. Move it already. Honestly, it's so dull. Good grief. Her Highness is quite the pain in the ass. As he grumbled a complaint, Yomogi skillfully brewed a cup of coffee and carried it over to Lin. Lin accepted it without a word of thanks, and then after blowing it on for a few times, she set her lips to the edge of the cup. Hey, what do you think you're looking at? You're a nice soul, so why don't you just go somewhere else? Those cold eyes were directed at me. My chest ached as though someone was squeezing it hard. Ooh. I think I'll go do the other choice before we choose this one. Oh, whoops. Why the hell? That makes no sense. Okay. I swear I picked the second last one, which should have been the other choice. Now I have to go through all this again. God damn it. Okay. Have we met before? We've definitely met before, right? Saying this, I approached him. After thinking it over a short time, no. Yomogi shook his head, looking dubious. I see. But if you mean before coming to the shelter cabin, then the answer would be yes. Although rather than met, it's more happened to see. When? Where? On the small passenger plane. Small passenger plane? Come to think of it, he was saying something about a crash in a plane a moment ago. Pretty good at getting a quick handle on the situation. This many keywords are present, I can guess what happened to a certain degree. It's simple. Excluding me, the three of them were all in that plane. The plane crashed. I don't know how many other passengers survived, but at the very least, these three managed to get hit by themselves. However, I have no memory of getting on a plane. Hey, you said you saw me on a plane, right? Yeah. Really? Why would I lie about that? It's the truth. When I got to go up to the bathroom, I noticed you two. You two? You're saying there was someone there beside me? Bewilderment colored Yomogi's face as he took a long drag on his cigarette. You don't remember? Remember what? Remember what? All of it. All of what? What happened between the time the airplane took off and when it crashed into the mountain? That's what I'm talking about. Chaos. A large quantity of information streaming into my head like a series of raging waves. Uni was sitting next to you, right? On the starboard side of the plane, towards the back, if memory serves. You were sitting in the aisle seat, and Uni had the window. It looked like you were having fun talking. Did you forget? I really couldn't remember. Did I get on a small passenger plane? Did I have fun talking to Uni beside me? Is that why I remember Uni's name and face? Come to think of it, Uni said something along the same lines. This person just forgot. It's short-man memory loss. Is that how it is? Oh, don't think about it too hard. You might have a slight concussion. Your memory will come back sooner or later. That aside, won't you tell me now? Your name. Don't tell me you even forgot your name. Now remember. I trying desperately to keep my senses, I answered. My name is Yukidoh Satoru. There we go. Okay, I'm gonna keep quiet. I kept quiet, struck by a sudden sense of helplessness. My thoughts and even my sense of self deserted me. Hey, why don't you just try to make up already? Yomogi spoke. Whoops. I don't know how to say this, but this isn't fun for me either. Mind your own business. It doesn't concern you. It doesn't concern me, huh? So then you're saying it concerns her? Huh? I didn't mishear him, right? because it sounded like Yomogi said her just now. Have your brains begun to rot or something? How many times do I have to say it before you're satisfied? I've never seen this woman before in my life. I don't have anything to do with this woman, got it? This woman? Woman? It's almost certain I hadn't misheard it or I hadn't imagined it. Taken aback, I looked myself over. I rubbed my chest, a light pink skirt, high lace-up boots. The back of my hand was a soft white, and from my abdomen protruded 2 long, slender legs that looked perfectly at home there. This can't be. The words left my mouth before I had time to think. Panicking, I put both hands to my chest. Though small, there were definitely 2 bulges there. A woman. I'm a woman. Why hadn't I considered the possibility until now? Undoubtedly, I felt like myself, no different from usual. That's why, even if a certain part of my body entered my field of vision, I didn't recognize it as anything other than a symbol of sorts. A finger was just a finger, an arm was just an arm, a foot just a foot, all preceded, all processed so unconsciously I barely even noticed it. We don't see the thing itself. When we see the passing landscape around us and the countless objects contained with it, we can't be said to be perceiving them exactly. We derive a simple general idea of each of the objects we see, and our thought patterns process them in the basic way. Till now, it is naturally thought of myself as myself. Within the human mind, there exists the pursuit of an identity and a sense of self. We're programmed to naturally think that the me of 10 years ago and the me of the present time are the same. Yet in practice, both physically and mentally, the two are completely different. In much of the same way, I too was convinced that me of before and the me of the present were identical. Therefore, even if my foot or a part of my clothing entered my field of vision, I didn't recognize them as anything other than one of the components which makes up that which of I think of myself. In short, it did not see my appearance as anything worthy of special notice. I derived only the general concept of my body, and decided to just input that information into my brain. However, now that I make a conscious observation of my own appearance, I notice that I'm different, a lot different than I remember. For the time, I realized that something strange had happened to my body. The mental signs that something is strange here and have risen to the surface level of my consciousness. There's something the matter. Looks like you're in over your head about something. You don't have to keep it to yourself, you know. Why don't you take a load off and tell me what's going on? I ran up to Yomogi and seized him by the shoulders. Mirror, I need a mirror. Mirror? Sorry, but I haven't got one on me. I released Yomogi and scanned the room. Something, anything, that I can use as a mirror. Small square window leaped into view. The other side of the window was dark. The weak light of the lantern illuminated the surface. I urgently rushed to the window. There we are. A face I have no memory of. The image reflected there was that of a young girl. Who is this? I was aghast. Slowly, also slowly, I extended a hand towards the face that floated in the glass. Cautiously, taking great care, I paid careful attention to how I moved from my wrist down to my fingertips, so as to not to break it. I held my breath, opened my eyes wide and softly. I touched the surface of the window pane. Who is this woman? Is this woman me? If that's so, then where is the me I recognized gone? Who am I? Which is the real me? I don't understand. Something's wrong. The world isn't the world I know. Loneliness and alienation overwhelmed me, and my own existence suddenly seemed thin and fragile. The anxiety became more and more unbearable. Reason deserted me in the face of fear so powerful it made me want to scream. Help me! Someone help me! My consciousness ended there. Boomba. That hasn't changed, it would seem.